Good morning. I always say good morning, and for most of you, that is just not a true statement. Sorry about that. Hello, happy Friday, good morning or good afternoon, wherever you happen to be in the country or in the world. Welcome to Straight Talk on Social Media. This is Ian Desher, Creative Director, but clearly not Time Zone Director for Pivot Group. And today we're going to be talking about the Facebook social graph and also some news about the Facebook cover photos for company pages. So we'll be sharing about both of those in the focus section. First, though, just a little bit of news from the last month. Also a reminder that as we go through the presentation today, if you have any questions, you can use the questions bar in your GoToWebinar control panel and put through any questions that way. So let's jump into the news. First of all, Facebook is there's word that Facebook is going to be rolling out video ads that will be appearing in on people's news feeds. And it sounds like the way that this is going to work is that it'll be sort of like Yahoo or YouTube, if you've seen video ads there, where a video automatically starts playing and it's muted by default. But it does automatically start playing as soon as the page loads. And then you can click to hear sound if you want to. So it sounds like Facebook is moving in this direction and is starting to work with sort of some of their top level advertisers to test this system out, and will be then rolling it out, presumably rolling it out if it's successful to everyone else later on. So that's just something to start thinking about in terms of the kind of advertising that Facebook is going to start allowing. No word yet on how much it's going to cost or anything like that. And obviously, you'll need to develop special content. I did hear that these videos will be no more than 15 seconds in length, which means that you may have to create custom video for Facebook. So anyway, more news on that as it develops, but that's what's happening for now. Instagram is now that it's owned by Facebook, it is sort of moving in a Facebook direction. They're going to start allowing photo tagging. So now that Instagram has profiles that people can have, and also profiles within both the website of Instagram.com and also profiles within mobile phones, they're actually now allowing the ability for users to start tagging each other in photos. The reason for tagging, tagging was one of the initial things that made Facebook so huge early on, because once you tag somebody and they receive a notification that they've been tagged, then of course they want to go and see what that is. So it's assumed that once photo tagging on Instagram starts taking off, that means that more and more people will be visiting Instagram, using Instagram, because they'll want to see see pictures of themselves that their friends have taken and tagged them in. So probably a good move on Instagram's part, and again, taking a page from the Facebook playbook. And Twitter, some news about Twitter, they are testing out localized searches. So instead of just searching for any topic or any name or company or something like that on Twitter, now you could actually start adjusting your search so that you're tweeting, or so that you're searching for tweets of things that have happened nearby, people who are in your local area who are tweeting. And so, it's the sort of thing where you'll be introduced to people who you haven't necessarily heard of, but if you just to give an example, if you heard a loud sound in your neighborhood, you could go on and search and see if people in the area have heard it also, if anybody knows what it is, if there's anything like that. So that would be one example of use for it. I can imagine other examples as well, as I'm sure you can. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see how this goes for Twitter as they start to roll this out. But it sounds like it'll be an interesting feature. So that's the little bits of news that I have for today. I want to jump into the focus topic, which is straight talk on the Facebook social graph search and Facebook cover photo. So I've been promising to cover the Facebook social graph search for months now, but have been waiting until the beta test made its way to me, and I'm happy to report that now I can show you the social graph search. So I'm going to do that today, and then we'll also talk about this Facebook cover photo news that I talked about, which I decided deserves a little bit of bigger space than I might have given it in the news section. So anyway, so let's jump right in here. First of all, with the social graph, if you don't have the social graph yet, when you start putting in a search, you might see this option that comes up that says new try graph search. And then that lets you, once you say, yes, I want to do this, then it sort of puts you on the list of people to be added. It took me probably a couple months to get added to graph search. I'm assuming it probably takes less time now as they roll it out to more and more people, but I'm not exactly sure on the timing there. But anyway, that's the way to request it if you don't already have the social graph search. So you can see that this is what the Facebook layout looks like when you don't have the social graph search. But then once you do have it, it changes to look like this. So you can see a search bar becomes the prominent thing, and it only turns into this icon here with the magnifying glass only becomes that when you hover over it or actually put your cursor in, click in here to get a cursor. If you don't do that, it's just a Facebook icon, and then you can see other things have shifted over to the right-hand side. So when you first click into this box, it starts to give you, ideas of things that you might want to look up, right? So you can look up friends, photos of friends, restaurants nearby is a popular one, games my friends play, things like that. And then you can just start typing in. And Facebook has done a pretty good job of coming up with sort of the common phrases that people might want to put in. So you can see here as I start to type, I say my friends who, and then this is doing a search then within people who I'm friends with. So my friends who live in Portland, or my friends who like Pivot, or things like that. So you can see various things that we're sort of suggesting based on my profile, things that I might be looking for. And then there's I just showed another search here of my followers who. So followers are anybody who has decided that they want to follow you on Facebook for any public posts that you want to show. And so you can also search within your followers if you're somebody who has a big following. I believe this is also available for company pages. Yet I've requested social graph search for Pivot's company page and have not yet been added to that. So that's something, just so you know, that is a separate process. To get social graph for yourself and to get social graph for your company is two different requests, basically. Facebook is treating individuals and companies as separate entities in that case. So you can see another example there. And then I want to show you a couple of examples of how you can get results that really narrow down, because part of the sort of amazing thing that Facebook has done with social graph is they are taking all of their users' data and they're making it available in a pretty a pretty easy way. Now they're still maintaining their privacy practices in doing this, but you can see you'll start to see what I mean. So I typed in people who like marketing. And that was just sort of my initial let's try this, and I of course got as you can see here it says more than 1,000 people, and then let's start whittling this down. You can see over here on the right hand side we can refine this search in various ways. Note that Kate and Crystal are my first two possibilities here. Well, then I switched to people who like marketing and live in Portland. So now Kate and Crystal are still on there because they showed those people first, but now the third person has been replaced with a different person. So you can see now that is starting to get more specific, and it's still more than 1,000 people who like marketing and live in Portland. Well, let's get more specific with this. How about they like marketing and they live in Portland, and now I'm going to look for men. No particular reason. I'm just decided that all they had shown me so far were women in the top results. So now I'm going to say, okay, gender is male for now. Let's say that I'm looking for a new person that I want to reach out and start talking about marketing with, and I want to find just the right person. Okay, so men who like marketing and live in Portland, we still have more than 1,000 people in this search. Now, I said, okay, how am I going to make this really specific? So I decided, what if their employer has to be Nike? So it's still all the other categories. People. So now it's male Nike employees who like marketing and live in Portland. Okay. Now we're down to fewer than 100 people. So now we've really started to narrow this list. But can we go even more? So but I mean, still sort of amazing to me that there are still this many people who fit these categories. But still refining it further. How about people who are friends of my friends? I mean, if I was serious about making a professional introduction, I'd want to be able to say, okay, write to this person and say, hey, I was wondering if we could get coffee sometime because we're both interested in the same thing, and I want to, hear about your experiences at Nike. Right, and it's helpful though if I can say, you know what, I see that you're friends with my friend so and so. So then you can see that these are three people here, and you can see these are the three people who match it at this incredibly narrow search that I've done. You can see I've put in so many of these possible options here. And so then I decided, just for fun, well, what if I wanted to see, okay, I don't only want somebody who lives in Portland, I want somebody who was born here. I want one of the true natives here. And then I'm down to a single person, friends of my friends who are male Nike employees and like marketing and are from Portland, Oregon, and live in Portland still. And here's Joel Guns, clearly my soulmate here. I need to get in touch with this guy. And he is the one person on Facebook who matches this incredible set of criteria. So you can see how powerful this is in terms of finding people. I did read an article that said it's going to really change how people go about trying to find dates through Facebook when you can get so super specific about what you're looking for in somebody. Now, the way that this applies, I mean, it's interesting for individuals and interesting to see, sort of how that works. But also, I want to show you sort of how it might apply for companies. And so, just looking at the recommended pages that Facebook is going to show you. So first of all, I did, well, how about just restaurants nearby? So of course I'm in Portland. So the first thing it's showing me is a couple of restaurants with they're putting people, or in this case companies, they're putting companies at the top based on various things. When I first did the search for people who like marketing, they were putting people who live in Portland at the top, sort of emphasizing those, or they were going to also put people who I had mutual friends with up at the top. Here they're putting some people up at the top because it's a highly rated business. It's a business that, it doesn't show it here, but that will have lots and lots of likers, and it's also people who showing me some results from people that my friends also like. So you can see Doug Peterson, Megan Hansen, and 8 other of my friends also like Voodoo Doughnut. For those of us who have been out to our Pivot Forward conference, you all know why these people like Voodoo Doughnut. And it's showing me some other results as well. But now I can get more specific, just like I could with the individual search. How about restaurants nearby that a chef visited? That would be interesting to know about. Here's a Higgins restaurant. So only showing me one possibility there. How about a restaurant nearby that my friends like? Because I want to go to a place that I think that, I trust my friends and their taste, and I want to see what they like. And so there it's showing me some restaurant possibilities as well. These two at the bottom, Amalfi's and Perry's, happen to be basically within walking distance of my house. So it's doing a good job here of giving me local results. And then I went, okay, well, how about this? What about Thai restaurants nearby that my friends like? So now it's yet a more specific category, but Facebook is able to show me these results. Now I'm looking for a very specific kind of restaurant. I want Thai food, and so it switches those results accordingly. So you can see, how sort of powerful this is, and why it's important as a company to start thinking about, how many likes you have and that sort of thing. Because as people start to use social graph search more and more, this is, it's going to be important for you to have a good presence on Facebook so that people can find you through specific searches like this. I did want to go ahead and also show you, this is an example with restaurants, which is in some ways sort of seems like I'm cheating, right? Because it's an easy category. Lots and lots of restaurants are on Facebook, and lots of restaurants, are things people are passionate about and things like that. So I did want to show you for some of our telecommunications clients who are on the webinar today. Here's an example with internet service providers, right? So I first of all type in, show me some internet service providers that are on Facebook. And it's giving me three options, and it's showing me options, first of all, that are all in Portland, right? And then I say, well, how about this? How about internet service providers liked by my friends? And here's an interesting one. I came up with Valley Telecom Group, one of Pivot's clients, because my brother Eric likes them on Facebook. And so that was interesting. Helpful for me if I'm looking for internet service providers that my friends like in general. Not as helpful because it's not a local search, right? So I'd have to say liked by my friends in Portland. Now, in this case, I only got a single result. So then you can get more specific. Let's say I'm going to be moving to Seattle for some reason. Internet service providers in Seattle, Washington. Okay, it's giving me something here. This would maybe be now. It looks from from this search like, okay, this is maybe not the sort of person I'm looking for. It's not a Verizon or an AT&T or a local telecom provider that's showing me really somebody who's offering some cloud services and things like that to businesses probably. But still, you get the idea that this is something that is powerful for helping businesses be found on Facebook. And I think as social graph is more and more used, and as people get more and more used to what it can do, it's going to be more important to think about how your page does or does not show up in these search results as well. I read one article that said this is sort of like the new SEO, the new search engine optimization, is thinking about how your page can be optimized for the Facebook social graph search. And now I want to move over to the Facebook cover photo. So the reason that I wanted to cover this today is because Facebook recently made a change, and I have to say, unlike many of Facebook's changes, this was really a change for good when it comes to companies and what they can do. So let me show you, first of all, the old and the new. Apologies that the screenshot on the top is a little bit fuzzy. I was trying to find a screenshot of old page guidelines, and so you get what you ask for. So here it is, and here are Facebook's old rules about covers. And what they say is covers may not include images with more than 20% text, price or purchase information such as 40% off or download it at socialmusic.com, contact information including website address, email, mailing address, or anything like that that should be in your About section, references to Facebook features or actions such as like or share, calls to action like get it now or tell your friends. They did not, basically what Facebook was saying was cover photos should not at all be trying to sell anything or promote your brand, really. Really what they wanted it to be about was just sort of companies showing some personality. But they did not want it to be something where people were, where companies were actually providing offers or things like that, or even contact information, which I think is kind of amazing. I didn't want those in the cover photos either. Well, just within about the last month, Facebook has changed the rules about this, which is, like I said, is good news. Here's what the guidelines say now. All covers are public. This means that anyone who visits your page will be able to see your cover. They can't be deceptive, misleading, or infringe anyone else's copyright. This is all same language from the old thing. You may not encourage people to upload your cover to their personal timelines. So that is all directly from this first paragraph from the old ones. But then all they say beyond that is covers may not include images with more than 20% text. So they still don't want your cover photo to be mostly photo, not mostly text. But you sort of just think about that and you think, wow. So think about all the things they've lifted in terms of things you used to not be able to do. Calls to action are okay. Contact information is okay. Price and purchase information is okay. Reference to some Facebook features, things like that, saying like us on Facebook, that's all okay now. This is really good news for companies that have Facebook pages. And hopefully you can see why. And so here I just want to show you a handful of examples of what some of the new cover photos look like. So first of all, you can see an example here from HubSpot where they're sort of, asking you to consider downloading this new ebook that they have. And so you can see that this is the sort of thing where they are, they're really trying to. It is a call to action, right? They're saying please go ahead and take this action, and they really are promoting themselves through this way. Um, here's an example from I think this is just from a sample page, right? But where they're giving a promo code in their cover photo, right? And so this is the sort of thing that is okay now. It's not deceptive. It's just saying, hey, here's our website address, and here's a promo code that you can use to get percentage off of the product that we're selling. So again, another good example. It is still mostly visual. It's still, is a cool story cool image that expresses personality. But they are putting some, a little bit of a sales pitch. It's not even a sales pitch. It's an offering out there for their likers. Here's an example of a guy who is a blogger and speaker, and you can see here that he has added in his contact information now that this is all available, so that people don't have to go to the About section. They can find his website address right there easily from his Facebook page. And so that's really, again, the cover photo, not a long topic, but just something that I wanted to make sure that I covered today, because I do think it's really important. So let me talk about a handful of takeaways from both the social graph search and the cover photos. First of all, as you can see, the social graph really does make a lot of data available. And when it comes to searching for companies using the social graph, you can see that what's happening there is it is actually drawing on user data that is private, because it's not telling you anything about who liked it or who checked in there, but it is able to say there were 219 people who checked in there, or it's gotten this many stars in a review, or 15 of your friends have liked it. So it's not, it's almost creating those results for pages and using the same sort of information that you build a Facebook ad audience from. So it's really powerful, the information that it's drawing on, where it can provide results for you using users' data, but by still maintaining privacy, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my own head. I hope I'm making it make sense out loud. And so because of this, likes and shares and your overall reach on Facebook really become more important. As you can see, it's people liking the pages, it's people recommending the pages, it's people checking into the pages, sharing content on the pages. All of that is going to play in to whether or not your company is one of the ones that is showing up sort of in the top level of these searches. And so therefore, the next takeaway, right? So you want to make sure that your page is really optimized and active, and that you are making it easy for people to, to review you or write recommendations for your company. Again, the cover photo now might be a great way to do that. I saw one example cover photo that I didn't include in the presentation that was directing people to the custom applications that Facebook lets you have, the sort of custom Facebook tabs. So just make sure that more than ever, that you are thinking about how to attract likers and get people to really share the content from your Facebook page and have it be a place that is active and growing, because that's going to really help you in terms of your where you show up within these social graph results. And then some takeaways for the cover photos. First of all, as I said, these new cover photo rules are really really good news for pages. I think that Facebook must have heard the feedback from pages from companies, that you're really your guidelines are really sort of hindering our ability to do what we need to do on Facebook, and you need to release some of those restrictions. And they've really responded to that. And you can see that they've taken off almost all the restrictions on what you can do, and now you're really able to make that cover photo a little bit of a marketing piece for your company. Now, I would still say that you should not make it a sort of in your face, beat somebody over the head with it sort of marketing message in your cover photo. I think you still want to play within the rules of engagement when it comes to social media, and have it be primarily about building relationships and that sort of thing. So I think a marketing message, a coupon code like the example that I showed, your contact information, a call to action even is fine. I think doing it constantly and having it be a sort of rude or loud marketing message is still going to be something that turns people off from that message. And so make sure that your cover page is within these new limits. Do make sure that you are still following these rules, even though they have been relaxed. There are still a couple of guidelines, as I showed. And then the last takeaway, but do make sure that you are putting your best foot forward. Make sure that that cover photo, if people see it, it's going to be something that is attractive. It shows some personality, but that also says something that you want it to say, or gets people to do something, or in some way introduces your company or your products in an interesting way. So, really, I think this is a great opportunity for companies to revisit their pages and revisit the cover photos on their pages and think, am I really using this as a marketing tool in the best possible way? So those are the takeaways that I have. I see a couple of questions here, so I'll see if I can answer them. The first question is, will Instagram tags ever be incorporated with Facebook? That's a great question, and it's interesting, I think, to see. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Facebook owning Instagram ever means that there's more of a tie between the two. I think it's hard to say at this point. It seems, at least so far, like Facebook is sort of leaving Instagram alone. Yes, they are making changes to it, but they're not sort of making it a subsection of Facebook or somehow uniting the content in the two of them. So that will be interesting to see if that ever happens. And I, obviously, if it does, we'll let you know. The other question that has come up here is the Facebook graph search on mobile, and do you think it's targeted more to mobile users or desktop users? At least in the application that I've been using with Facebook, for the app that I've been using, I have not seen the Facebook graph search integrated with mobile yet. I think that it is something that is primarily desktop. I could be wrong about this. However, Facebook has been planning on making modifications to its mobile apps, and I can't imagine that the social graph search will be just on desktop for long. I think it will be something that we see on mobile, because Facebook understands the importance of mobile phones and mobile users, and so they won't ignore that when it comes to the social graph search, which for them is really, social graph search for Facebook is really their attempt to become sort of a serious player in the overall world of search. So there's no way that they'll leave mobile out of that. So that's what I have for today, and I appreciate your time. The next Straight Talk on Social Media will be just over a month from now, Friday, June 14th, and the focus will be great campaigns and campaigns ideas. So every now and then I like to do a webinar on great campaigns, just to keep sort of adding food for thought in terms of things that you might do on social media to attract more likers and get people to engage with your pages. So I'll be doing that next time on June 14th. And for our telecommunications clients, Dave Neustraden's next Straight Talk on Telco Marketing webinar should be the end of this month, Wednesday, May 29th at 11 o'clock Pacific as well. Thank you again for joining me today. Have a great weekend. I hope for your sakes that it is as sunny where you are as it is here in Portland today, and apologies if it's not. Have a great weekend. Remember to keep your media social and your talk straight.